Oh my god. Oh my god. Straight up.
Welcome to the 12th part of our 426,000 part series, Better Know a Speedrunner, Horror Month. Today, we'll learn more about Waifu. Waifu runs multiple spooky games such as Dead Space 2, the Resident Evil remakes, several entries in the Devil May Cry series, and more. He's likely most well known for his work in Resident Evil 4, but not only as a runner, also with his highly entertaining and informational YouTube videos. A quick note before we get started. If you're a speedrunner yourself and you're interested in being featured in this series, hit me up on Discord or simply let me know in the comments below. Waifu is a 21-year-old full-time speedrunner and content creator from Arizona. When he's not decapitating zombies or editing videos, you can find him skateboarding with his friends. And boy howdy, can this guy skate. Waifu got his taste for speedrunning the way many of us did, but the first run he learned himself is quite possibly the scariest game ever made.
The first speedrun I remember watching is JTB doing RE4 at Games Done Quick. I think it was 2015 or 2016. I always loved that game and that was really cool. I didn't really know what speedrunning was at the time, but I just thought that was like really rad that he beat the game so fast. And like, turns out now we live like 10 miles from each other and we're good homies. I got into streaming because I just wanted to be able to record my speedruns. I, at the time, was looking into speedrunning Scooby-Doo, Night of 100 Frights, and I didn't know how to stream it because it was a PlayStation 2 game. So I just set my phone sideways, pointed at my TV, and so my first few streams the camera was tilted the wrong way, filming my TV with my laptop on the side with some splits up, doing some Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights speedruns. I probably spent a couple of months on Scooby-Doo, and then eventually I moved on to some Link to the Past randomizers, then eventually to Resident Evil 4. Near the end of the first year, I was probably averaging like 30-40 viewers and actually starting to build like a little bit of a community and really get into RE4 speedruns.
Not one to stay devoted to a single title, Waifu's first world record was found in outer space.
My first world record I ever got was Dead Space 2. When I came into the game, it was totally unoptimized, so I got to basically pick it up from mostly scratch and take it all the way to where it got to. And that was really cool. I got the first sub 2 hour time in the game flat. Like, there had never been a sub 2 hour. That includes with New Game Plus. The category was any percent. So that was really cool that I was able to get the first sub 2 hour. Did that through a combination of routing and some new skips and stuff that I helped to find. But I obviously can't take credit for that myself. It was definitely a huge community effort. It felt really awesome, but at the same time, like, I knew no one that's really good at speedrunning is running this game right now. If someone actually grinded it, they could definitely beat my time easy. Like, there's a lot of time to save.
Having watched runners he admires on the GDQ stage, it's no surprise that Waifu cherishes the memory of being invited to join them twice in a single event, and he returned the favor once it was his turn to take up the stage himself.
Most special moment in my streaming career so far has been my first GDQ event where I was on the couch for Maxi Lobes running Devil May Cry 1 and Bach the Soup for running Resident Evil 2 Remake. And that was a fucking crazy week. I had never been on any sort of grand stage like that before. And I basically just had these crazy nerves and these people that I really look up to. And they gave me this opportunity to go on their couches and help them out with their runs because I ran both of those games. And it was really amazing, and I am pretty proud of myself for how well I did, considering like how nervous I was. And then the other one would be when I did my first GDQ run myself at Games Done Quick Express at TwitchCon. I ran Devil May Cry 3, which is my favorite video game. I feel like I did a really good job. A lot of people really like that run. It's one of the most viewed runs from that event, and I'm really proud of it. It was awesome.
With the fortunate timing of a particular game's release, Waifu set a goal to be one of the top players, and staying true to this goal would propel him towards that coveted purple checkmark on Twitch.
The biggest impact on my stream in the last 2 years is definitely the release of Resident Evil 2 Remake. At the time, I was going to school in California and my school shut down. Shortly thereafter, RE2 Remake released. So I had a bunch of downtime and I decided that I was going to be one of the best at that game. And if I did that, I knew I would get a lot of viewers. So I went from like 30-40 average viewers down to like 15-20 average viewers when the game launched. And then about a month and a half afterwards, averaging around 100 or so, maybe even 120 average viewers. And this got me partner, got my name changed from top_tier_waifu to waifu, and it built the structure for what I have now. Beyond that, the approach I was looking for was to be a variety speedrunner. I wanted to be known for running a lot of games. I wanted to be known for being good at all of my games and having a very particular choice of game selection.
And he extends this as a warning to other streamers as well. Even if a runner feels they're happy with a single game, Waifu wants them to be absolutely certain before they build an expectation that's nearly impossible to break.
Here's the thing. If you're trying to brand a stream, finding a niche is important. However, getting stuck inside that niche, if it's not something you absolutely want to be stuck in, it's a really bad thing. I see people get stuck all the time where they're like, oh man, I run this game, or I run this series of games, particularly Resident Evil. This happens a lot. And they get really hyped on it and they brand themselves as, I'm a Resident Evil streamer. And you know, a year, maybe more goes down and they really aren't that into Resident Evil anymore, but their entire audience only cares if they stream Resident Evil. So I would say this is a pitfall that you need to avoid if you really want to like have a variety of games in your repertoire. If you care at all about having a successful stream. I mean, not everyone does, you know? Speedrunning is about having fun. So whatever is fun for you, that's what you should do.
Across all of the games that he plays, there are a plethora of single-use strats that Waifu has learned and mastered. But in Left 4 Dead 2, there's one thing that's key during the entire duration of the run, and it's not easy.
The hardest thing I've ever learned how to do in speedrunning is bunny hopping in Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4 Dead 2 bunny hopping is extremely difficult because every single jump is a tick-perfect spacebar input. And moving with bunny hopping is extremely counterintuitive. It was the first time I ever had to deal with anything like that. And it's not like one trick that you do that like skips one section or anything. It's something you have to do the entire run. And it was totally new to me. So learning that is probably the hardest thing I've ever done in speedrunning. And it was really fulfilling because now I could be hop like a champ and it's super fun. For new people going into it, it just takes hours. That's it. It just takes a ton of hours. Don't be bummed on yourself for not being able to do it first try or whatever. Like, it's going to take a long time. And strats like that are fun because it makes it so that you don't hit the skill ceiling really fast.
Waifu doesn't want to leave anyone out when it comes to his list of inspirations. From strat finders to close friends, here are just a few people that he credits with pushing him to where he is today in speedrunning.
Thank you all so very much.
JTB for inspiring me, and eventually he made a tutorial as well for Resident Evil 4 that helped me. Let's Get Pitted made the tutorial that I learned off of for Resident Evil 4. Mike Wave also helped immensely with both streaming and learning the speedrun for RE4, as he helped me a ton. He was like the big strat dude. Pharaoh, who is also a Resident Evil 4 streamer, who I swear to God, he hosted me like every single day for like 3 months straight one summer. And that's where I built most of my core audience. Maxi Lobes for being the first big streamer that I followed. He helped me a lot with my DMC1, as well as a huge inspiration for how I run my stream now, as well as people like Bakba Soup and stuff, or even my closer friends like The Cosmic, who really helped me like just get my stuff together, you know, be professional, like do good runs, help me get to events and stuff like that.
A general theme with Waifu seems to be that variety is the spice of life, and his general advice to new runners is no different. Look beyond the most commonly run games and keep your focus on the games you love. But most of all,
just do what's fun, man. Like, don't focus too much on streaming. Just do runs for fun, you know, and don't reset so much. That's everyone's biggest thing. I prefer runs that have a really high skill ceiling and potentially even a lot of RNG, because I don't like when they get optimized fast, but I would definitely suggest that you try different types of speedruns. Not every run is Mario 64, you know? You could speedrun MGS. You could speedrun a racing game. You know, I speedrun Left 4 Dead. People don't even know you can speedrun those games. So just don't go into it with any expectations. If you like a game, try to speedrun it. I've been watching a lot of Minecraft speedruns lately. That's not something you would traditionally think is a speed game, but it's one of the coolest ones I've ever seen. So I think that you should give other games a chance. And I think it's important to learn more than one game. It'll help you a lot as a speedrunner in general, and it'll just make things more fun.
Searching, come on! Find the crash collection.
before we go, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Waifu for taking the time to answer the questions for this feature. You can find links to his YouTube, Twitch channel, and Twitter in the description below. Don't forget to give him a follow. I hope you've enjoyed today's Better Know a Speedrunner. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up. The entire month of October is dedicated to highlighting horror game speedrunners, so hit that subscribe button to make sure you don't miss them. As usual, I'd love any and all feedback you may have, so just leave it in the comments below. Finally, special thanks to our super generous Patreon supporters, Totally Not a Mimic, Happy Code Monkey, and the Grogster. And if you made it this far, thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next run.